Welcome everyone to Code 6. This is Micah introducing our segment. Tonight we are reviewing The Matrix, which is essentially about a psychotic, closeted gay computer nerd who believes the world is a cyberspace dreamland. Basically, if you combined Inception, Alien,
this
Mulan,
isn't the one-man
the
show
Avatar,
of Micah.
Pokemon, the first... You know what? I had a thing going, and then your bitch ass opens your mouth.
That's pretty good.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, I'm already done. Since my intro is wasted, Bailey.
You guys made me
No,
watch
do it
Pokemon.
again.
I can make you watch The Matrix.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were doing anything. I literally thought you were doing that off the
Isn't
top
that
of your
good,
head.
That's so good.
I was just gonna say Pokemon the first movie, then you have The Matrix.
Hmm?
That was literally the last part of
Okay.
it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, welcome to Code 6.
Micah.
Hello.
We have Isaiah.
What's that?
We have me, Bailey, and we have special guest.
Hello.
No, the real special guest,
Yeah, less special.
Abby Bach. Say
Hello.
hello. Oh, she's divine.
She's nervous.
And we're all going to be talking.
And choose a button.
This isn't a counseling appointment, Isaiah. The Matrix. Let's begin. General audience opinion. Isaiah, tell us what you thought.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that enjoyed the movie, it seems like, and I'm the one that chose it. So I'd like to hear
Telling.
some complaints that then I can jump
Well,
in
we
on,
need to
so.
hear what you like about the movie before we just shred it to pieces as a piece of shit movie.
I wouldn't say it was a piece of shit movie at
Thank you.
all.
I know, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Did you really hate it that much?
I didn't actually hate it.
I liked it
Yeah, this
for
is
what
classic.
it is, which is
Yeah, you have to be able to laugh at it.
an important movie, quote unquote. No, it was good. I'd say, I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, it'd be better as a book because it's so philosophical. But then it's already a
That's interesting.
shit ton of books, novel influences from it. But it's also great visually because it's really great
great.
visually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
For
fantastic.
1999, I think that's
Yeah.
really good.
But it's like, I don't know. From the point he wakes up naked and shaved to when they download into his brain, into his Matrix brain, that to know Kung Fu, Taekwondo, and drunk fighting? Drunken boxing. I literally was bored out of my fucking mind.
From that point on?
Between those 2 points.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can understand you could be bored because it's a little slow, but that section you just described is so integral to actually describing the plot of the movie.
Which is not... I didn't think that was that great. It was like, why is everyone wearing Yeezy season 2?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I loved Trinity. She was hot
Oh,
as
she's my
fuck.
least favorite character.
I loved Trinity. I almost
agree,
wore my
she's
leather
creepy.
pants in tribute to her. And then I forgot how cute Keanu Reeves was.
Oh,
Before you
I
became
said
old.
the same thing. I was like, he's kind of cute.
I was watching it with Sean, my husband, and I was like, fuck, he's so hot. Remember how hot he was? And he's like, oh yeah.
But people just make fun of him all the time.
Because he's
He's a goofy dork.
No.
Yes, he is. He's
No,
a
he
goofy
comes
dork.
off as like dumb. Because he talks dumb. But
So surface level.
he's great. I love Keanu Reeves. I'll take a Keanu Reeves over Tom Cruise any day.
What?
I can't stand Tom Cruise.
Just kidding. You're
I'm
totally wrong.
not huge on Tom Cruise either.
No.
Like
I think-
John Wick, anybody?
I
But
think-
no, I thought he was great in The Matrix, and there was a lot of stuff I liked. But like,
How could you get bored during that part though? Like, it described the plot.
What?
That was the whole reveal. That was the moment. Like, whoa.
Wait,
When he wakes up, when he just figures out what everything
for
is.
me, like, okay, so the whole thing where, you know, when he wakes up, that whole very long sequence where
my
the
God.
tub drains
Seriously?
and he sees all that was good showing.
Yeah.
The rest of it is telling. It was all exposition. And I'm just like,
It's very dry.
It gets really slow, but I still think.
what did you
it's-
think, Abby?
Yes.
I was really confused because I thought that something was happening that wasn't happening the whole time. So I didn't realize that the computers were the ones in charge. I thought that there were people living in this town that were controlling the computers.
Hence the alien Inception reference.
And that's so many people, even the actors in it, had like no idea what
Really?
what was going on in the script. At the time, it was basically known as the most confusing script of all time. Because it's very out there. All Wachowski, formerly brothers, now sisters, because they're both transgender women. Yay. They made all the main actors read a shit ton of philosophy, all this stuff just to understand the script. So it makes sense that a lot of people didn't get them.
They're both trans?
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds?
Yeah. I didn't find that till like I finally was like every time I watch a movie, about halfway through, I get onto IMDb and yeah, they're trans, and also, holy shit, The Matrix has the longest IMDb trivia page I've ever fucking seen.
I absolutely believe that.
I didn't even try to read the whole thing. It would have lasted the entire movie. But yeah, it's a confusing concept, but it's easy to break down.
Yes, let's talk about breaking it down. For example, the numerous is what the word I was trying to say, of gay euphemism scenes throughout the whole movie, from the porn scene potential with Neo getting penetrated by the robot sperm. That was really weird when he was getting bugged. Sorry.
Was that in the belly button?
Yeah, that was very weird to me. It was
It was very alien.
Abby didn't watch. She closed her eyes.
I had to.
Good.
Well, I had like a.
No, you didn't.
I could see like a quarter.
She
of the
screamed.
screen.
She screamed and closed her eyes.
It's very yeah.
I had a friend who
It's
was
very
afraid
alien.
that her belly button could come untied, and so I always think about that with belly buttons now. So watching that movie, I was like
scarred for life, right?
Yeah,
Belly
Right.
buttons are fucked up.
They're
they are
weird.
really weird.
I don't get the point.
My ex-boyfriend's
Man.
mom, her youngest kicked hers out when she was in the womb, and so it's literally like a thumb.
What?
Ew.
That's weird.
That's nasty.
So like it seems like they could become untied.
Yeah,
Like theoretically,
Just
if you could
start
kick it
pouring
out,
out.
like
my belly
Ew.
button is very hard to clean because it was like cut all weird. Sean's belly button, I can fit my whole nose.
Glossing over that.
Thanks for bringing that one up, Micah.
Second euphemism was when Morpheus, what's that his name?
Yep.
Morpheus.
Yeah.
Morpheus was talking to Neo about like why he's here. I thought like he was trying to like prompt Neo to come out the closet, and it was like, you're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it for your entire life. I'm like, what, is he about to come out the closet? What's happening? Is he gay? And he's like, the Matrix. I'm like, oh, that was very not what I was expecting.
that's true. It does sound like
It doesn't at all.
Maybe Micah, are you gay?
Yeah.
that what
Why,
you're
No.
why do you look for these
No,
things? and everything?
I like women.
You said the same.
Boobies. It just
You
feels
did
like
the
a bag
same
of
thing when
sand.
you watched Reservoir Dogs. You were like looking for
that was
every little
me.
thing, and you both said the same thing.
No, I convinced you that
No.
they were gay.
I'm
He
still in
instigated that
doubt.
conversation.
Bitch.
Instigator. Yes,
it could also be like a god thing too. Like you felt this
There was a
your
lot
whole
of
life,
religious about that.
but haven't been able to explain it. So
Right,
it could
right.
be like a
Plus
lot,
the names of everything.
but that makes sense
like
too. Like,
cities
the-
being named Zion and
Mhm.
like the Trinity
Right,
and like
right,
all the little
right.
I thought it was weird that they
terms
didn't
here and
develop
there.
it anymore though. Like it was just like randomly things were named after biblical things, but then they
The-
never like ultimately talked about it.
Explained about why.
It's
yeah.
based off of religious philosophy.
But like all like lots of different ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like
the same
his Morpheus's ship had this crazy name that was some
way.
Jewish name. It looks Polish to me. It looks unreadable. But yeah, there's a lot of shit going into it, which makes it kind of, the movie came off to me after, like, I literally just watched it, and I've watched a lot of movies before this,
Over
so
1500.
I see all of the influences.
She carries the podcast.
Yeah.
No, but like, so it's like, okay, interesting. The fucking martial arts that didn't include like the special effects bored the shit out of me. I was like, I literally have like 80s D movies at my house that are better martial art movies than this.
Yeah, I fast forwarded that.
You did not fast forward parts.
I literally
You can't fast forward parts.
I can actually.
No, it's not the kind. This movie is confusing and messy. You have
I
to sit-
fast forward through the action scenes that weren't actiony because the kung fu was so boring.
It's wrong.
Oh my god.
You can't tell me what's wrong. About my own opinion.
One highlight, Rob Zombie music was in it. That was a highlight. That I wrote down.
Wait, that went way over my head.
Yeah, same.
They played Dragula. Oh my god. Okay. No, when they were taking the bug thing out of his stomach, did you notice that they fucking plugged it into the car?
Also,
in the cigarette lighter.
that thing they used, could that have been any more obnoxious? Like
general mechanism of
detonation. It looked like something you use for tennis practice.
Or a giant
weird
retractor or something.
It was weird.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
It was weird for the movie too, because everything was so like
I want one.
future, but not like it was so simple, and there was like it was a weird cartoon-looking device. I'm like,
But it's so futuristic, we don't have to explain it because it's futuristic, which is very generic. Well, what I also didn't like about this movie is just like the little moments of just cheapness and unrealistic, and like the Y pills is the big one. Yes, as in.
If you take a pill, I could imagine the whole thing being like a trance.
Psychedelic situation,
so
right?
why do they have to take a pill?
But it's just so simplified. I'm just like,
maybe if you listened, they explained why you have to take the pill.
Speaking
I tried,
from
there
someone
was
who
so much going on.
doesn't listen.
What did they say?
Yes.
After they take the pill, he's walking around. He's like, Morpheus is talking about, okay, the pill you just took does whatever medical term thing it does when you're going to go under to have to wake up again.
It's my favorite Deus Ex Machina. Medical stuff.
Medical stuff, you know? It does medical stuff. Important medical stuff.
I got that
so
part.
what are the medical things that it does?
The question you should be asking is, what does the second pill do? Because...
No, the oversimplification of representing those medical processes
we know what
pills.
the second pill does.
It makes him forget. Sleep, right? Yeah, it makes him forget.
It makes him go back into the Matrix.
It's like Men in Black, you know, the flash camera thing.
But that's different.
Still better.
Yeah, because a pill is just like, it could be drugs. But the thing is like so futuristic, I don't know what it is. It's fine.
Alice in Wonderland was a huge influence on the movie too.
Right,
so
from the whole Alice in Wonderland.
I think they used their influence from that to kind of. It seemed like with that they really simplified like this path.
Too complex of a movie for that kind of. That's what I'm calling like the very cheapness of that nature. Of
I wouldn't say that it was cheap though. It is cheap now how neo-Nazis use it to their own benefit, but it's still pretty. I don't know. I didn't think it was bad. I hate how it's used now.
Or maybe I'm not saying cheap, just predictable, generic kind of the way.
I didn't think it was even that predictable though. Like for its time, and even now, it's not like it's being redone
the
a ton.
Cake says "Eat me." It's basically that. It's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Alice in Wonderland.
You've never seen Alice in Wonderland?
No.
Don't watch the cartoon. Watch anything but the Disney cartoon because I hate that.
I like Disney cartoons.
Not that one.
Too kid friendly.
The quotes killed me. When Morpheus is like,
oh my gosh,
this will feel a little weird, and then shoves a giant mechanical needle in his head. I was like, oh, very interesting.
Can we please talk about Morpheus's fucking pores? Because
I noticed that. It was awful.
It was literally like he got punctured as a child, and his body never healed. His face.
Sephora, help him.
What's
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Which I knew he was in this, but I was like, where do I know him from? But the only thing I really know him from, what else, is Man of Steel. And
no, I feel like The Matrix is his one biggest well-known role.
He is a good actor, though.
I feel like once he got cast as Morpheus, he's kind of been playing roles that are Morpheus ever since then. Like he was just in the new one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, Passengers, where he's the ship captain.
I didn't see that.
The old wise ship captain that is in the movie for 10 minutes and then dies off.
How many pores
before he can help them?
What? They actually have this?
For the listeners, what are you guys looking at?
Yeah.
How many pores does Lawrence Fishburne have?
I literally
and the answer?
Oh, well. Let's look at it.
If you do connect the dot, it does. It leads you to the Matrix.
Connect the dot on Morpheus's pores takes you to the Matrix.
That would have been better.
That'd have been good.
Ew.
What philosophies that the movie had did you like best or convinced you? Really?
What do you mean?
Like the whole thing with like basically, would you take the red pill or would you take the blue pill? They're both very philosophical.
Well, no, I think
things.
my favorite character was the Oracle, and like I think her approach to things is pretty accurate, pretty easy to believe. Just the way, like, you know, she obviously is like, you're not the one, but like, I don't know, the way she conveyed her prediction towards things about, you know, how the Matrix works, how life in this world works, was just like, oh yeah. I mean, it sold me as a character.
I also liked how she was like, she told him you weren't the one, but he was the one.
Yeah, he
and
was
so
the
like,
one.
it's the whole thing, like, you can't have other people telling you what you are and what you aren't. You kind of just make up that for your own.
Right.
Take your own path, and then eventually you become whatever it is you become. And no
Also,
one really knows.
Also, the movie would be over sooner if she just said, "Oh yeah, you're the one."
Right, that too. You had to move the plot.
Because they do know so much.
And she was baking cookies, and cookies are in websites. Yeah.
Oh.
That's good.
What pills would you guys take?
I don't want to remember that shit. I do not want to be a part of that.
Blue pill.
Yeah.
You're definitely a blue pill person.
You know my life.
What about you, Abby?
I wouldn't have wanted to take either pill because you shouldn't take pills from
Abby wouldn't be looking in the first place. She would have gotten any kind of hint of like looking around like, nope.
Listen, if we want to go all the way back there, then if I literally wrote this down. Like, if some bitch came up to me talking about the Matrix is watching you, I would have slapped her ass and walked out the damn club.
Well, like, even in the police room, I would have just told them what I knew. Like, I would have told them. So.
The agents. You'd have been in the agents like, well, here's everything.
So you
end of movie.
So you would have just like let them take you back to the Matrix then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's what you're hearing. Right.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to even put myself in his position because I wouldn't have let it go that far. I'm such a rule follower, but I think I would have taken the blue pill.
Yeah. Isaiah?
I would have taken the red pill.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, such risk takers.
Well, humanity is suffering.
Well, plus it's like after you like I realize you're gonna forget, but in the moment you do know. I feel like to go back would be
for
like I can't think of the
well
word.
For me personally, I don't think ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance,
you know,
that's
and that's for me. That's what it comes down to. I don't want to be asleep when shit's happening. That's not right.
And that's
but you didn't even know that at that point, right? Like,
well,
you
get the sense, you get that intuition, I think, in those moments to where, like, you know, like this, and that's where I'm at too, because I agree ignorance isn't bliss, but I also would know for myself that I wouldn't be able to do anything about it, because I wouldn't have believed myself to do it anyway. Plus, and I knew my limitations.
Plus, for me, I mean, there's a part of everyone that kind of wants to be, like, in a zombie apocalypse.
Fuck no.
No? Oh. Like, there's a little part. There's a little part of everybody that's like, oh, that'd be so much fun. It's just like the apocalyptic thing where you go back and you're like,
he wants to be Katniss.
In the
dystopia.
I want to be the hero.
So typical Aries, man.
You know, go back.
The hero.
Go back and just be like,
I'm gonna fight for the weak people, and then I'm gonna come out on top.
Yes. Oh, gets me going.
Yeah,
sounds awesome.
Gross.
Gross.
Pillsbury
Doughboy.
Can I ask a question about his name?
Neo. Oh, the Neosporin.
It's an anagram for one.
For one, right? And then it means new. I figured that out like an hour after I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Neosporin.
What did you guys think of the special effects?
So good. Oh my god.
It.
I literally came in my pants.
Sarcasm?
No.
Crickets.
Because you look like you're being sarcastic.
No, actually, for a 1999 movie, I think they were.
I thought they were great.
I would say that they were great, except for when the Sentinels came, and then I was like, "Oh yay, this Pastafarians are here!" You know, the flying spaghetti monsters.
Yeah, they were a little weird.
But no, the bullet effect.
Yeah, my favorite scene.
The bullet effects were great.
Is this a game of like? Oh no, I can't.
One of my favorite scenes was when they're walking into the building where all the agents are, just him and Trinity, and they got all the guns, and they're going through them. There's like all the fire and the shooting, and everything's falling apart. It's awesome. It's just awesome.
By the way, when Trinity's flying the helicopter and he's shooting the machine gun,
How
he
did he
would have
know?
killed.
Thank-
That's what I was
thank you.
thinking.
Okay.
I was like, this bitch.
I think we all had this discussion. As it's happening, you're like, okay, he's got a Gatling gun on a helicopter, shooting into a window where there are 4 people standing within, like, shoulder to shoulder, and he's not shooting
And
Morpheus.
at that point, he didn't fully realize he was the one yet.
Like, how...
was
Did
also
you
talk-
know it was called a Gatling gun?
No.
Isaiah just like whips that term out, and I was like,
You don't know it's a
what
Gatling
that
gun?
is
Let's talk about all the
called.
things that
Like,
you
that's
don't know,
scary that you know
Isaiah.
I
Like
was-
Alfredo sauce and how after opening the can, you put it in the refrigerator instead of keeping it
All right,
in the
Josh
pantry
didn't
for
know
6
either.
months. Well, we're not pulling Josh into this. He is off to... Anyway,
It's not.
anyway, we're moving on.
I didn't know
Oh,
that
God.
spaghetti sauce, after opening, had to be
I
refrigerated.
opened a
It's
can of
not
sauce
that
that I shouldn't
uncommon.
It's a cream base.
It's...
I didn't know it's cream
I didn't know. You buy it on the shelf. I figured you just leave
Isaiah
it in the
forgot
cabinet.
his pizzas
Do you-
at work.
I
you
did.
put
I did forget my
mayonnaise
pizzas
on
at
the
work,
shelf
and I
after
nearly
you open
cried.
it, too?
Ignorance is not bliss, after all. Isaiah Stomach, 2017. Sorry to put you on blast, but I just get sassy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, yeah, the machine guns that wasn't a realistic moment at all. Like the fact that the agents that are like, oh, I can dodge every bullet, but I can't shoot
No,
you.
I had a
every
good laugh
freaking
at that
time.
one. It was ridiculous.
And they're like within like 20 feet. I'm like, how could you
And Morpheus,
miss?
who's like incapacitated, can't move, just isn't getting hit.
No, not at all.
Just sitting in a chair.
Oh, what else did I hate about this movie?
I definitely didn't hate it. I think the only reason I would ever watch it again though was to kind of just look at the sci-fi aspect of it, the philosophies of it.
I always-
Those are
to watch it
interesting.
again.
I always like rewatching it. Like, I don't watch it a ton, but after, like, I always like rewatching it because it is really interesting. Like, it's thought provoking. I think there's a lot of good things about that.
I think though that because I've been told the sequels are so bad, that kind of kills it.
Have
for
you
me.
seen the sequels?
Mm-mm.
I
just
wouldn't
this.
watch them. You might as well just.
I like we
I mean, they're not
finished
terrible.
the movie, and I'm like, I look at Sean. I'm like, so should we go rent the next one? He's like, no. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
it's
I'm
one
like,
of those-
why are they so bad? And he explained it. I was like,
Like, the other ones are necessary to watch if you want to know the whole story, obviously, because this one clearly leaves off to where you're like,
Wikipedia.
I want to know more, but
oh, when he becomes Superman.
pretty much just, yeah, exactly. But it's
The
one of those movies that shouldn't have been touched. It's been like, leave it as it is.
Okay.
And now I heard they're remaking it.
We got into a whole
A reboot.
session
I heard there
with
was a,
Stevie
yeah, I heard they're doing a reboot of The
Oh.
Matrix, and
It better
I
be
hope
with
not.
Neo.
I absolutely hope not.
It better be with Keanu Reeves.
While we're on the topic of reboots, they're also talking about rebooting Top Gun.
I've never seen
Well,
it.
no, they're
Tom
doing a
Cruise.
sequel.
Ew.
That's worse. Like,
It is worse.
that's why would you do a sequel to Top Gun? Tom
Why
Cruise is
would you
old.
do a remake of The Mummy with Top Gun?
Ugh.
Or
With
with
Tom
Top Gun?
Cruise. No, I know what you mean. It's just,
A fusion.
why can't they just leave these movies alone and come up with their own ideas?
Because it's all about nostalgia for this
Oh.
generation of millennials, Isaiah.
Izzy. That's
Izzy?
for that's
This
for
breaks my heart.
that's for
Ooh,
another
tea.
podcast.
Izzy.
Breaks my heart.
That's for another podcast to explain Hollywood executive
Right.
rule to you. The one thing I did love about this movie was it really made me appreciate how much I miss landlines. Like, because
Where would they have been without landlines?
Well, yeah, they needed them, or else they would have found them, you know? But that's why it couldn't be remade today.
True.
There's no way they could remake it today because it's like, oh, the new ones would be FaceTime, you know? But when I was at my internship, I had my own office phone, but it was literally a cell phone. And I was like, this is fucking lame. Because at my old newspaper, I had like one of those really cool old phones, and it felt awesome to like, yes, hello, yes. But it made me really hate cell phones, like remembering that and just like watching the movie, it made me really nostalgic for like landlines. I think I'm gonna get a landline in Japan.
I absolutely believe you're going to get a landline.
Yeah, just like I'll be like, hey, like twirling
Twirling
the
the
cord, walking from room to room, getting my answer machine and my call waiting.
You look disgusted, Micah.
I'm just ready to move on from this conversation.
All right, well, how about this? We haven't talked about how they run yet. Abby couldn't stop laughing about how the
Oh yeah,
Mr.
So
Robot
flat.
about it? Yeah.
Every single one of them, and they're running like in a line. I'm like, why would they? And Isaiah and Josh are both like, that's like the right way to run.
and Abby couldn't stop laughing.
But I just feel like
She was just cracking
this
up
is
laughing
so
the way they're like running
unnatural.
so
well,
Chopped
is that
hands.
maybe that's the point.
That they are not humans.
Machines and robots are very much a part
They're
of the themes.
they're simulations of the machines.
But the woken up people did too.
They're in the Matrix.
Have you seen-
That's what I tried
Have
to
you seen
explain to
game
her.
characters run? Like in
If
video
you
games,
if
like
you
that?
watch it again and you notice the lighting, anything that has like a blue lighting is in the real world. Anything
Okay,
with the green
that's
lighting
true.
Kind of like
is anything green is in the Matrix.
That's true. I did notice the green a lot.
so you can really tell at the very beginning when he's in his room, in the
Mhm.
cubicle, the tent, and then it changes. But-
Hmm.
Which I think you brought up.
The running. I just couldn't get past it. And they ran so much.
It took you out of the movie.
Oh, took you out of the movie segment. Which is where we talk about what parts of the movie took you out of the movie. So, the running seems to be that for Abby.
Mhm.
What about you, Isaiah? Was there one thing in the movie that took you out?
Put me on the spot pretty early. I right off the bat, I have to go with the Gatling gun scene where it's so unrealistic. Like, it's a machine gun in a tiny space with 4 people standing next to each other, and coincidentally, only the people that you need to get shot get shot. It just seemed like you couldn't think of a better way to do this. That one bothered me. I was like, come on.
For me, it was the pretty much the first fourth part of the movie script, which was just so like amateurly done. I feel like, you know, Trinity is like, you're in danger, Neo, in a club, and she's
so
like,
hot.
how they're watching you, and Neo's like, who is? And she's like, what is? Or Neo's like, what is the Matrix? And Trinity's like, the answer is out there. So, you know, like, okay, this is Simba,
So
you know,
vague.
here from The Lion King, like very vague. And I was just like, this is just so unrealistic. The second one was the kung fu scene, like we were talking about earlier. I thought of Kung Pao the whole time. Just this like whole like, you know, we haven't seen Kung Pao, but it's just so.
Also, real fast, I don't think we're paying enough attention to Bailey's impersonations of Keanu Reeves. I think they are absolutely flawless, and she's just been kind of doing it in the background, quiet enough where we can't hear.
See, that's what I do.
So later on, we will make sure we have a time when Bailey is just saying quotes from the movie sounding like Keanu Reeves, because it's perfect. It's perfect.
I have one. I took you out of the movie.
Okay.
When the people came to Neo's door and they were doing their exchange for the
Oh my
little
god.
bit. So they gave him however much money it was before and then he like shut the door. And I thought he wasn't coming back. And I was like, why would they just give him the money before he has the stuff?
I was thinking about that. I think that's the they all know him,
and
so
so
it's
they
kind
know
of,
that he's gonna give it to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also it's like there's a bunch of them and it's a tiny door.
Yeah.
I think it was like in good faith kind of
Okay.
thing.
And he is in control, I guess, if he's the only one who... What was he making? I did wonder what they, like, actually were.
Probably fraudulent things, or like getting a whole bunch of shit on people for them or something.
And just, like...
Yeah, my guess would just be like access stuff with it, like, yeah. Because he was a hacker.
Yeah.
Like, he was he was a computer programmer, but he was secretly a hacker.
Right.
And that's how they were able to get to him, because he kept noticing all these different things, and then like all these little glitches. The thing that took me out of it actually was like at the very end. So you literally the movie ends and you know how that song starts, like when he flies away. I'm like, oh fucking, this is literally what I said. I'm like, oh fucking perfect. You can tell this is a goddamn 90s movie because they have some shit Rage Against the Machine knockoff, and with the
I think we made a
shitty
comment about that
guitar,
too.
and then I hear I heard the singer of Rage Against the Machine, and I became very upset because it was Rage Against the Machine, and they're not. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Wait.
I literally.
Let me put it like this. In the same way, Bailey got upset at the end of Pokemon when she found out it was Christina Aguilera actually singing.
Yeah, it was like,
at the end of Pokemon. She lost it. And then at the end of The Matrix, when she realized, wait, this isn't some knockoff. This is actually Rage Against the Machine.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I'm gonna tell Sean that he didn't put those two together either. That's so funny.
It's the same thing.
I was so mad because it was so terrible. I was like, but then I heard the drums. I was like, wait. No, it's Rage. Fuck. That literally like killed the movie for me. I was like, fuck this movie.
Funny.
I didn't like how Morpheus just dropped in the Oracle and his little storytelling, and then the Oracle came along and told us about the future. And it was just like, very to the point there, just not subtle at all. And I just who is this Oracle? Where the fuck did they come from? I need more information. Or it felt very unnatural.
Mm-hmm. What was the guy's name that looked like Pitbull?
Oh, the traitor of the group.
Oh.
We just called him Pitbull because we couldn't remember his name.
Because he said something about. I was like, well, what does he want? Why would he want to go back to the real world?
The steak scene.
They said, yeah. Well, and I was like, but what? Is it really just food? And they're like, well, he probably wants to just be famous. He knows all the secrets. And I was like, he wants to be Pitbull. He looks so much like Pitbull.
Yes.
There's probably a low-key joke between them.
I read it. He was wanting to. There was a joke in there, who he was gonna become, and it was God. What was the thing he actually said? I'm gonna be an actor.
Yeah, I think he said want to be an actor.
And just someone else keep talking because I remember that. I'm gonna look for it again. Who he actually. They were making fun of an actual actor.
Oh.
I was gonna say it seemed on purpose why he said that.
Cypher, this person that we're talking about.
Thank you.
Cypher.
No, you can. I like how he sneezes in the wall.
What?
Just
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
She didn't think that was on purpose. Abby didn't think that was on purpose, and I was like, Abby, you're telling me you didn't think the guy who was trying to betray them as they're hiding didn't sneeze on purpose in the wall.
The plan was already in place. It would have happened whether he sneezed or not. It really looked like
there
he was
been,
trying to hold it in.
Well,
get away.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say what took me out of the movies because that could have been a possibility that he was intentionally trying to do that. But there was too much risk. He was the one right there behind the wall. They could have just shot at him like that. He could have died.
I think it was totally intentional because I think he thought that they were getting away. They had found a way to escape, and he was panicking, and so he had to think of something quick, and he went a little more out on a limb to get their attention.
Right.
Because he thought they were going to get away.
Which makes sense. But again, he would have died more than that's just such a I don't know. It just felt so also.
Although if you want to get out of this horrible life you're living, you either go back to the Matrix and it works, or you die. Maybe that was
he
something.
Didn't want that. He didn't want to die. That was the whole point why he betrayed him in the first place.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily that he was gonna die. He was gonna suffer.
Yeah, that's true. He's a wuss.
Okay, so Cypher, whose last name is Reagan, wants to be an actor. A wink to President Ronald Reagan. A reference to this is that in the same conversation, Cypher says that he doesn't want to remember anything. Ronald Reagan was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
That's so weird.
And Ronald Reagan wanted to be an actor. Too.
He was an actor.
actor.
He was a very
before.
famous actor.
As a teak, I should know that, but I don't.
That's why there's that joke in Back to the Future.
Oh, that's right. I watched that movie.
That's a great movie.
I've seen him 10 times.
Oh, what's that? Oh, guys. When Morpheus tells Neo, "Welcome to the desert of the real," I'm like, customer service. That's so our life.
I did like that line.
That was so good. That was so good. I really appreciated that.
Will Smith was originally going to be Neo.
Should have been.
What?
No, Keanu.
That would have been cool.
I don't know Will Smith. He's always in movies like this too.
I feel like Keanu was perfect as Neo.
All right, this is a perfect time. Let me hear Keanu Reeves.
It has
Neo
to come
line.
organically. I can't. I'm not a fucking pet.
Perfect.
Whoa.
It'd be perfect.
Is that it? Is that the
That's Arnold.
Oh.
I can't do it.
Oh, no, that's not it either. No, we can move on. Oh,
Then you leaned in.
WTF moments of the movie, like legitimately, the window squeegee guy in the boss scene at the very beginning did not there was not even like a.
I thought that it was gonna be something. Like I thought that
Me
he
too.
was gonna be Morpheus or something.
Or
I
like,
was like,
the boss would be like, "Hey, stop that," or something.
How about all of the conveniently located people for agents to turn into? like whenever you're in a room,
No,
they're like,
no. You don't understand how it works. Then
What do you mean? No, agents. I know how it works. Agents can really take control of anyone
in the
Matrix. I'm saying,
and it's a city full of people. So why wouldn't that? Why is
I'm
that?
just saying there were a lot of times when it was like,
well, there shouldn't be a person here. Or
In this
what?
corner of this.
Yeah.
No, he
Okay.
just forgot that point. And no, that's literally the whole thing is a simulation that they have control of. They can literally
They could do that if they wanted to.
yeah, which is why they were so fast.
I did not like all of the directives on the phone calls for the first 20 minutes. Like, all I was thinking is that I was tempted to think about making a remake of all of those with, who do I have? Morgan Freeman giving baking instructions to Kristen Wiig in a mysterious voice. Like, that's all I want. Because, like, every time, like, look over to your left, blah, 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 blah.
I think it just struck gold.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, SNL.
Copyright to anybody listening to
That
this.
could be amazing.
Like, just like, take the flour and put it in the... And you can see her being, like, struggling, like, novicely, just trying to put that in. I think it'd be beautiful. But, like, there's just too much of that.
I'd rather it was Gilbert Gottfried given the instructions.
Morgan Freeman too basic
The
for you.
Affleck guy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Vagina! Yeah, that guy.
Have you seen him reading 50
The
Shades?
Shades of Grey, that's exactly what I said. It's speaking of taking you out of a book, his narration will do that for you. It's funny. It's intentional. It's supposed to like.
Now, Neo. I can't do it.
You don't know.
Neo.
His.
Gilbert
You'll know
Gottfried,
his voice.
you'd know.
You'll know his voice.
He's
I'll show you a picture.
Iago in Aladdin. The bird.
Have you
the
seen
parrot.
Aladdin?
Yes, but not for a long time.
I don't know why I thought of this, but
No,
he's in
Call
The
the
Apprentice.
He's the,
I don't know why I thought of that.
you know the Affleck duck?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Affleck.
his voice.
Really?
Affleck.
You know, Affleck,
You'll know when you see him.
Millennials.
You'll know.
No.
You need to go to YouTube. Isaiah, YouTube is an application where you can listen to music and post videos.
Oh, you know what I really hated about the movie? Their ugly ass sunglasses.
Oh my god.
But that's the
The-
whole thing.
The agents,
I totally agree.
agent's sunglasses were cool though.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was the people.
What
It
sunglasses?
was Neo and
The
Trinity.
first ones, they're in the car, like those weird.
They're the
ones.
sunglasses I remember wearing as a freshman, thinking I'm cool, and then I look back in a picture, I'm like, wow, I
We
look
just took a video
terrible.
snapshot of Isaiah's life freshman year.
I have a
and
picture
it's not-
of me wearing those sunglasses.
Oh, I see. They are dumb.
What,
Yeah.
the sunglasses?
It's very,
You looked at the
it
sunglasses
dates
when-
it. It dates it so beautifully. God, he was so hot in that movie though.
Keanu.
Mm.
R.I.P. Bailey's ovaries died of Keanu.
Was this the only movie that he was attractive in, or did it end after The Matrix for you?
Did you
Also-
see John Wick? No, he was great in 47
Quick
Ronin.
30 seconds.
And he was at his dumbest in the lake house.
Here's me in those cool glasses.
Oh my god.
50 Shades of Grey, the erotic best-selling novel read by Gilbert Gottfried.
My inner goddess has stopped dancing and is staring too, open mouthed and drooling slightly.
Hear it the way it was meant.
So this college humor.
Keep still, he
I do
ordered.
recognize the voice for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, turn that shit
So
off.
funny.
Yeah, like, oh, I can't handle this.
Like, I don't know what's worse,
Getting all
the
hot and
writing,
bothered.
the writing or his voice.
The writing.
The
Still
writing
writing.
is so bad. It's
Absolutely
literally
not.
a fanfic. It's a fan fiction of Twilight.
That's exactly what I
What
was
is?
gonna say.
the 50 Shades of Grey books, the first book is literally a edited S&M / fanfic of a Twilight.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen or read either of them.
Like, you can literally still find
Did you
it,
read
like, on
Twilight?
fanfiction.net.
All of them.
You read all the Twilight
All of
books?
them. But I've never read 50 Shades of Grey. I actually read the first chapter when I was young, and I didn't know what I was reading.
You're
And then
young.
You're
I told
still
my mom,
young.
I was
No,
like,
don't read those books. They're not well read. Or
well,
well
I read,
written.
like, I was babysitting and somebody had them, and my mom was like, what'd you do while you were babysitting? And I was like, oh, well, after the kids went to bed, I was reading this book. And she's like, don't read it! So,
Well,
I didn't know.
apparently it saved my parents' marriage, so
Oh.
Wow.
take
A lot
that
of
how
info.
you
A
will.
lot of information.
But
We don't need to go down
it's
that
such
twisted
bad
path.
writing. Twilight is a very well written series.
I
those
loved
books.
Twilight.
So good, Stephanie Mayer. Round of applause.
Mormon.
Did you say Mormon?
She's Mormon.
Oh, you actually meant Mormon. I thought that was supposed to be.
Mormon.
Fuck.
So back
Oh.
to the Matrix.
Yes. And how it all is like comes to a fold in the plot is that I love you saves the day. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, that's a little cliche.
Come back to
That's
me.
a little cliche.
Here are my breasts
But
on your
see,
face.
I liked that because I love princess movies. So
Yeah,
that
that's
the
not
kiss
surprising.
woke him up. I was like, classic.
Hence the Mulan reference from earlier.
Oh my god, that's what took me out of the movie. I had forgotten about that. The stupid Neo dies and Trinity leans over and kisses him and it brings him back to life. And I
Sleeping
was
Beauty
like,
AF.
Do you think that
this is so
it
stupid.
dates it, or you're just pissed
It's
because
so-
it's been done so many
It's
times
so
since
dumb.
then?
It's been done. It's been done so many times since then, but also just like
He clearly dies.
come on.
Like that.
He's the one.
But he's the one, so like,
He's the
It's
chosen
fine if
one.
he can
That's
come
the
back.
Pokemon movie reference.
Okay, you'd be bitching if he wasn't the one, okay? And then
it's
he
your
died.
stupid Pikachu crying over Ash.
Hey, hitting personal boundaries.
Below the belt.
Oh my god. I need to quit work.
have you seen Digimon?
Yes!
I love that movie.
So good.
I watched that like once a week.
Hey, Digimon.
Audible
Hey, Digimon.
disapproval.
I love
From
that.
Jockstrap and Bailey Joe Nerdy.
Bailey Joe. That's good. I
Oh my
like that.
god. Or Bilbo Baggins from earlier.
Oh yeah, 2 ibuprofen, really.
Well, I think that's all I have for my notes on how horrible this movie was, aside from the fact that I prove it as a classic. It's a classic.
And it's referenced so much, it was good to watch it. Because now I'm like, oh.
We've come such a far way.
By 2002, so 3 years, it was it was parodied or referenced to in 22 different movies.
Wow.
Yeah. Which for me was the first time was Shrek.
Oh, it wasn't the Japanese tentacle porn remake of the movie that you watched with Sean?
We don't watch that shit together.
Oh, okay. I mean, forgive me.
What's the reference in Shrek?
When Fiona is fighting the Merry Men, and then she does the split kick, and
Oh,
it,
she does. It
and
does
then
the
she picks her
slow-mo.
hair. Yeah.
That's great.
That's so funny.
And then they parody it in Scary Movie 3, which is the best scary movie
The
by the
action
way.
scenes in The Matrix are awesome. The action scenes in The Matrix are awesome.
I love
Debatable.
the opening one with Trinity. Like, that was awesome.
How
and
she
I
fits into
loved,
that
I
window
loved how
ever
she
so
wasn't wearing
perfectly.
high heels.
Oh yeah.
That's so
that is
rare
nice.
in an action movie. That the female badass protagonist is wearing like actual like combat boot
Like
heels.
Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, also really good. Tomb Raider!
Is that what we're watching?
I've never seen that either.
Oh my god, you love it.
It's a good movie.
I'll think about it. Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, I love that opening scene. I guess that opening scene cost $8 million.
How much did the movie cost altogether? Do you know?
$10 million. Because the script is so awful.
The script is not
So-
that bad. There's some good things in the script.
Well, they clearly put budget cuts on the CGI, because that shit's awful.
Okay,
It's
wait,
90s.
wait.
It's in the 90s, man.
Wait, I was wrong. So
Jurassic Park?
they originally asked for $80 million.
You're gonna tell me Jurassic Park had good CGI?
Better than
It
The
did.
Matrix.
Okay, not that. Like the Matrix did
And in
too.
1992, 7 years earlier. Do not argue with me
Nothing
on
about
this.
this stuff.
You're just
Okay.
saying because you just watched it.
Jurassic Park has great
It all-
CGI
okay,
because
what?
it's implemented with the practical effects.
So,
Don't
It's
fucking
actually
try and go
I-
after.
I can't
Jurassic
get in this
Park.
argument because
You'll
guys,
lose.
I will
you
lose.
will.
You guys
absolutely.
are. You're out of my league.
Okay,
Is not
As in, like,
nice.
I'm below.
Yes.
You are
so the movie, they originally asked for $80 million. They would only give them $10 million. So they took that
I guessed
money.
it.
Potential there could have been amazing.
So they took that money and used it just for the opening 10 minutes.
And that's when the economy crashed.
Which took
Oh.
which took
I'd like
like
to watch The Big
months
Short.
to prepare for. I think all the money went into preparing for it.
Interesting.
And then they showed them that opening scene, and then they
Got more money?
they gave them the rest of the money they needed.
Genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super smart.
That's like using your 3 wishes to get more wishes.
Oh, yes.
Or using your one wish to do something to prove that you deserve more wishes.
Yes.
Or making a business investment.
Yeah.
Think about it. What
Why
if
did
they
you simplify it so
what if
nicely?
what if they would have failed though? What if they would have taken all that money, used it for the
that
first
would've
10 minutes, and then been like,
But
yeah,
that,
we're gonna
that opening
pass.
scene is amazing though.
no, it's great.
They
No, it's
made a great
fantastic.
short film.
Have you ever seen The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I
No,
have
but I
not.
have seen The Lion King, and that has a very similar
That does not
reference.
have him at all. But no, that movie went through like 6 directors or something. The first director blew through $8 million in a week.
Oh.
You know,
But
The Lion King
honestly-
also uses $8 million in the
Good
movie.
thing.
It all went to, killing those lions.
The plane tickets, you know?
R.I.P. Cecil.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyone have any closing statements?
The Matrix is awful, and I would rather sever my arm and have sex with my arm than to watch it again.
Matrix is a classic. I will watch it again in the next 3 months, and I will love it even more.
I think that you should instead watch Equilibrium.
Naturally, you would have an opinion.
I feel like
about
I've
the movie
seen
already.
Equilibrium.
It's Christian Bale and Tay Diggs.
And you,
I
Abby?
feel like I've seen that movie, and
And
I
it's better.
hated it.
I'm not a critic.
Why?
I'm gonna
I
look it
watch
up to make
things-
You're a
sure.
supporter.
It's so much better.
I don't like action movies though most of the time. Like when we started watching this, I was really uncomfortable because I really only watch movies I've seen.
She talks for
before.
like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, stop.
I was really confused and trying to get some things clarified early, but
Well, it's definitely a movie. Like if you don't get it, it helps to pause.
and,
And,
they
like,
kept
try
asking to
and-
pause.
yeah.
Pause and discuss. But Mr. Action Man here is...
Did you?
I don't even
see-
like all the action. Okay, I like a lot of action movies, but it's not my. It's one of my favorite genres. But I like a lot of other movies that aren't action.
Do you like Cliffhanger? Then you know shit, bitch.
Ooh! I'm gonna need you to get 5 notches down, Bailey. Anyway, it seems
Can
like
you
we've...
control your tongue clicks?
Yes.
Wow.
Practice makes perfect. It's part of being gay. Anyway,
Fix it.
it
After
seems
all
like
these years.
it's... Oh my god. Oh my
Okay,
god.
maybe I haven't seen Equilibrium.
Okay. Anyway, it seems like we've concluded this episode of Code 6. Thank you, Abby, for coming.
Yes. I'm so glad we had
Yes,
Abby as a
joining
guest
us.
finally.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure they want Abby more than they like me in this. so.
Yeah.
We're
No.
not
There's
getting
a
into
lot more
that.
to say.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, tune in next time for our next episode of a movie which I have not yet figured out.
Is Micah
Code
choosing the
6.
movie?
That's literally what I just said.